I'm Morgan, and this is a video that I have been intending to work on for a little while now, but well, life got in the way. That happens sometimes. So I am going to be trying on some clip-in bangs, and these are I specifically sought out synthetic ones. There have been allegations about forced labor in the production of some real human hair, like hair extensions that were imported into the US. And so I specifically tried to find ones that are synthetic because I hadn't heard as much about similar allegations with regards to synthetic ones. And I will try and link some sources down below for further reading about that humanitarian issue. And the product I ended up going with were US Clip-In Bangs Hair Extension Synthetic Bang with Temple's Hairpiece for Women, and it's from the eBay seller AIKEA-8. I'm not familiar with them in general. I'm not affiliated with them, but when I was looking for synthetic like clip-in bangs, they ended up coming up in the search results, and so that is who I ended up going with. I think it said that this seller was like US based and the shipping times were like quick enough that it seemed plausible that they were from the US, but that doesn't necessarily mean that these were manufactured here, etc. Like, you should probably do your own research if that's an area of concern for you. And the first product, like, I got them in like 3 different colors, and the first one I got was the dark brown and gold blonde color. They're in the 30 grams weight. I think they sold them in like 2 different types of weights. And, made in China. So despite me trying to find ones from the US, it's still made in China. Like, I wish that it were easier to find things that were made in the United States. And, like, I feel like it's just a little bit easier sometimes to, like, figure out, okay, what are the working conditions like if it's closer to home. I'm going to need to get, I think, a pair of scissors for this real quick. Yeah, and these are just a basic pair of scissors for cutting, like, plastic and stuff. I keep like a smallish pair upstairs because I didn't want to keep like big heavy kitchen scissors up here. I'm just gonna put those behind me, I think. And they came in this like little hair net to keep it from getting all like matted up during transit, which I do appreciate that. I think that's a nice detail. But the problem is the hairnet is catching quite a bit on these the clips that the bangs attach to your head with. So that is a little bit of a pain to get undone. Oh, okay, so this is what it looks like, the part that attaches to the head. And I find the way that they did it in a circular pattern is quite interesting, because I think of bangs as typically being like a triangle section like this, or an inverted triangle. Like, that's typically how modern bangs end up being cut on the human head. And I ended up, I asked my sister which which color she thought would look best on me, and she had the idea that I should try like a contrast one, as well as trying to find ones that match. So, okay, I'm trying to figure out how do I get this clip open. Okay, that's right, it goes like this. Oh, I do not like this style of hair clip. It's really difficult to get these like open and closed. And then I'm gonna try and figure out, okay, where do I want to position this? I started with my hair in like just straight down the center part, because I figured that would be the easiest for aligning it like symmetrically. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, I think that this part should probably be at about the front of my head. And I'm just gonna pull this forward and then like snap. Okay, I don't like the style of closure here. I feel like it's not gonna be very stable. Oh my gosh, these look kind of ridiculous on me. These make me think of like those emo scene bangs. And I'm wondering, like, is this a situation where I just need to position this higher up on my head, or is this an issue where it's like they're just too long and thick in general? Like, maybe I should have gone with the smaller size. I'm gonna put my glasses back on. We're gonna try and put this like higher on my head, like okay, yeah, these look ridiculous. These look absolutely ridiculous on me. I'm thinking that part of it is like the thickness level that this is. It's just very, very like thick. And for my what's the word? I would typically like if I had like natural like what's the word? Like I have like curtain bangs, chin length bangs, kind of like at one point like they were more of a blunt cut and they looked kind of more like a modern hime bang. But like mine, I feel like they aren't quite that thick. Like the section that I have in my hair that's shorter isn't quite as thick as this is. And I'm trying, like, part of it too is the way, like, it definitely has like a curl or curve outwards, which I think is part of the issue. I wonder if I just like put it like this and like tried to do, oh my gosh, this just looks absolutely ridiculous. I don't think this particular style looks great on me, and I think the problem more has to do with the weight of it, like the thickness of it compared to the color. But I guess we'll try another one in a color that's slightly more akin to my hair color, hopefully. And this is the dark auburn and 30 grams. And it came in a different type of packaging. Like I'm wondering why they why this one came differently. Like was this like did someone like open this previously? Because this one didn't come with a hairnet, and it didn't come in the same type of plastic packaging. So that is a little bit, something that's like a little bit like suspicious or odd to me, is just like, why does one come in different packaging than the rest? Okay. Let's see. Let me try and get this. I don't remember. Oh, okay. Flip it outwards. Like, I do not like this type of hair clip for attaching things. Like, I almost prefer, like, it feels like it can move a little too much vertically. Like, I don't like it very much. Okay, we're gonna just put this like up here and then clip this like this. Okay. This does look a lot more natural, but again, I'm seeing the issue where it's quite thick and also it goes forward, like it curves, I think, a little too much for it to look quite natural. Like, I feel like it curves forwards a bit, and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, if I had hair on my own head that was, like, cut to this length from this part of my hair, I don't think would be curving forwards quite to that extent. Like, it feels like it's been, like, over-styled a little bit too much to look natural. And, like, I'm liking how, like, the side, these two bits at the side, they do fall forwards. They do look kind of, what's the word? I feel like that does try and help blend it a little bit more, but it isn't the same color as my natural hair color, like, so it very strongly stands out. And like this length that they went with, it's like, I don't know, maybe I should be wearing this higher up on the head than I already am, but it is kind of an awkward length where it's like in my eyes, and maybe that's fashionable, but that isn't very convenient for every day. Like, it's thick enough at like my actual eye level that it's like, no, that is not quite what I'm looking for. I guess I'll try putting it like higher up, like up here. Okay, and that's okay, but the problem with this is that like when I wear it this high up, like the curve almost feels like even less natural looking up here. Like it feels even less natural looking. So I feel like with these, I would almost need to like trim them down, or else maybe like style them somehow with like a steamer. I don't know. Let's see how this looks like if I thin out part, like what's the word, like comb part of it down and like just like brush part of it to like the side or something. Like, does this look any more natural? Like if I give it a little bit of a part. Is this my natural hair or is that the other hair? Like, it looks almost cuter like this, I feel like, where it's like not so heavily like floofed forwards. Like, it feels cuter almost if it's like if I do something to break apart the texture, not the texture, but like the styling that it came with, the naturally occurring like curved under part. If I do something to change that up, I feel like that makes it look a little less unnatural. So this is how, like, this I feel like is the least bad that I've got any of these clip-on bangs to look on me so far. So, but it still feels very, like, I feel like if I was going to do this again, like if I was going to buy these again or trying to look for clip-on bangs again, I would go with a smaller weight because this level of thickness, like maybe my hair is just too thin for it to look natural, but it looks very obvious compared to like my natural hair down here. Like it is, like the strands, like it just feels like this is like either too dense or too thick or something. Like something is where it's like the weight of this is too weighty compared to this that I have, like compared to my naturally occurring hair. So yeah. But I do like what's the word, the convenience of having clip-in like accessories, like because I don't want to deal with like what's the word, normal bangs are like just too high maintenance for me. Like I have to wash them all the time or else I get like breakouts on my forehead, like they get too greasy. And so I prefer bangs that don't sit on, like I don't want things that sit on my forehead all the time. So I tend to, like right now I have like the chin length style where it's like I try to get it to flow to either side of my face, but I like the look of fringe, but I would prefer that in something that's like easy to remove, and so that way I don't have to wash my hair every day. Let's see, and then this one came in the same type of packaging as the original one, where it has the hair netting and this little plastic thing which holds the tags on. But one thing that is kind of like weird to me again about this particular product is it says clip-in hair extensions, but on the back it's like what seem to be the instructions, like they don't have them in English. So like I can't actually, like I don't know what they're saying. Like I don't understand any of the particular languages that they went with. So considering that this seemed to be marketed more so towards people who are based in the US, it is a little bit odd that they don't have English in the instructions. Like I would prefer if there were English in the instructions. And this was the black to light auburn 30 grams, and I thought like, I was wondering maybe if this would be a little more natural, like because it has variation in it, like it's got like 2 shades, so it's like that might look a little bit more natural. But again, this has the issue of it's like really like curved forwards, which again, like that's just, it's too overstyled, I felt like, in my opinion, for like my particular hair. Okay, maybe if I try, like, let me just pin this section, like I'm just gonna pin this section back so that way you don't see like my own hair interfering in the front. I wonder if that's gonna give like a slightly better view. Huh, and like this is like a random loose thread. Well, something there maybe my room is dusty, or maybe my nose doesn't like that particular thread. Either way, I'm like, oh dear, sneezy. I think one of the air purifier filters has like a light on that says it needs like changed out. Or at least I saw that when I turned it off to take the video because I didn't want that white noise. Okay. Huh. Oh my gosh, like the way that the side strands here are, like it doesn't look particularly natural today. Let's try positioning here. Okay, this particular one, the way that it's styled looks very, I don't know, the vibe it's giving me kind of is maybe like something, again, like emo, like scene kid from the 2000s, or maybe like some of those ridiculous, like heavily styled hairstyles where, I don't know, like maybe kind of like something that like maybe like someone from the Beatles might wear. I don't know, like the very 60s, 70s, like ultra volume. Like this just does not feel very natural to me. Like I feel like Like, oh my gosh, this is just, it's got too much, like, poof and stuff where it's like, that just doesn't look like how my normal hair is. Like, I feel like the color looks a little less, like, unnatural. Like, it looks more like, it's got more variation to it, so I feel like that's something that, like, looks a little more, like, what's the word? Looks a little less obvious compared to the one that was, like, just dark auburn. But at the same time, I'm like, the way that this texture is, like, it's too much volume. It's got too much going its own way, and it's like, I don't quite know how I would fix that. Like, because I don't know how many, like, what temperature it can safely heat up to. I remember from when I did cosplay that frequently, like, if you use a steamer on, like, synthetic hair pieces, like, oftentimes that can work better than, like, for detangling and stuff than straight up using, like, hot tools. So I'm wondering maybe I should try that on these to try and give this, like, a little bit more of a natural, like, look instead of this, like, it just looks very, like, very over the top floofy, and I'm like, that just doesn't look natural on me. That doesn't quite look like it's too much volume, because my own hair doesn't necessarily have a ton of volume. So by contrast, this is just too over the top. Like, this looks like something, like, the level of volume on this is the sort of thing, it's like, if I were on stage or something, that would be really good, because it's a huge amount of contrast. Like, it's like that, but if I was going for something more natural every day, I wouldn't want, like, the huge pop of volume. Like, I want something that's much more subtle. Like, you know? So, again, I feel like these problems might all be solved if I went and tried to get the, what's the word? 20 gram style instead of the 30 gram. Like, I feel like the heavy weight is the real issue. And this might work, like, this style might actually work a lot better for someone who has, like, more voluminous hair, or maybe someone who has, like, what's the word? Like, if someone had, like, hair with, like, a lot of texture to it, or natural, like, curls, or, like, kinkiness, and then, like, straightened it out. Like, oftentimes hair like that has, like, a lot more, like, volume than my hair does. So this type of style with, like, the lots and lots of, like, weight and volume might work really well on someone who has, like, hair that's, like, more like that compared to mine, because mine is quite, like, not very voluminous and quite straight. So, like, this style where it has the lots of curve and lots of body, like, I feel like it doesn't quite look like it just doesn't quite look like what my actual hair looks like. It's just, I feel like it's a very strong contrast where it just doesn't quite look natural on me. I'm wondering, like, maybe if I did, like, some sort of, like, updo or something, like, would this, okay, maybe if I was doing something for, like, a camera or something from far away, this would work better, but, like, up close and stuff, it's like, it definitely is, like, something where it's like, okay, this just doesn't look quite natural. I'd have to definitely, like, mess around with, like, what's the word? Maybe some styling tools, like, maybe, like, trying to get the curve to be less, like, extreme, maybe pulling pieces off to the sides or something. Like, I don't know. Like, this definitely is something where it's like, maybe if it was more like this, where it's like you have more of the hair pulled to the sides, but then it kind of makes me think of something like my grandma would wear and looks very old lady-ish. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel like, okay, so all in all, I feel like I need this, like, less heavy, less thick version of clip-in bangs, like something with, like, probably, like, 15 or 20 grams instead of 30 grams if I were to get these again. I definitely feel like I like the colors where it's, like, 2 colors in one instead of 1 color in terms of, like, naturalness for me. And I feel like these are, like, the quality for how much they cost and stuff, like, I'd consider these to be good quality. It's just, like, I feel like I ordered, like, the wrong weight and stuff for my particular, like, hair type. Like, I might have been better off with a different, like, style, like, something that's, like, less heavy. Yeah. And like, again, the seller is AIKEA-8 on eBay, and the item was US clip-in bangs, hair extensions, synthetic bang with temples hairpiece for women. So again, that's one of those titles where it's like, you can tell that this was off of eBay. Yeah, but I was having such a hard time trying to find like synthetic clip-in bangs. Like, it was so much easier to find like real ones compared to synthetic, and I was specifically seeking out synthetic ones for like ethical reasons. So yeah, hopefully this was a fun video. I wanted to try out a new look and see what these look like on me, but I'm thinking that these don't look quite as natural as I was hoping for when I was like wanting to try out this aesthetic. So yeah, I hope that you have a great day.